Hello, everyone. This is Fabian, the product manager for GitLab Geo, and I'll quickly run you through some of the features that we are going to deliver for 13.0, the next GitLab release. So this release is really about two major efforts. One is the Geo SelfService framework, and the other one is about improvements to our planned failovers using Geo. So I'll run you through what we are intending to do. The first one is about the Geo SelfService framework, and we are currently implementing the first iteration of this for package files, both for replication and verification. The self-service framework is something that we've been iterating on for a little while. It's really important as a foundational basis for how we replicate and verify data using GitLab Geo. And this self-service framework will allow us to do this in a more standardized, foundational, and robust way, and also allow other developers inside GitLab and the wider GitLab community to contribute and then ultimately accelerate how we replicate data. So in 13.0, we are going to ship our first implementation for package file replication. We had intentions to finish this by 12.10, but we decided to push this out a little bit just to ensure that all of the items for the framework are in place, and that should accelerate us further. So there's quite a few things that are scheduled for the next release, and we're excited to deliver this. 13.0 is also going to feature package file verification, the first iteration on this. We have quite a few issues that we need to deliver in order to verify this type of data. So these are two of the major efforts here. The next two features are really to improve how planned failovers can operate. The first one is to create a command line tool that pauses and resumes all replication on the secondary. This is particularly interesting, for example, during an upgrade, when you want to make sure that your secondary gets completely separated from a primary and no changes to the database are replicated while you perform some other operation on the primary. Lastly, we're going to deliver a read-only mode or maintenance mode for the primary. The main intention here is to allow GitLab to be put into this read-only mode where regular users can still access most of the data. They can't make any changes. This is important to allow a primary to replicate all data to a secondary so that they can be in a completely synced state. And this is important in a planned failover scenario when you may actually intend to switch over from a primary to a secondary, and you don't want to lose any data. So this is going to be implemented in 13.0. Some of the front-end work is already done. We will work on the back-end here in 13.0. Then lastly, we've been busy getting Geo onto the staging environment for GitLab.com. And as a consequence of this, we've discovered some scalability improvements that we can make by simplifying backfill operations. We've already delivered iterations on this for some data types in 12.10, and we are going to actually continue making these changes in 13.0 and close out these performance optimizations, which would make Geo a lot more robust and fast. We're also continuing to make changes in the user interface for administrators. And one thing that came out of interviews that we had with systems administrators is that it is a little bit difficult to find where specific replicated items are. At the moment, we have many different pages that sort of replicate the same interface over and over. We're going to actually merge this into a unified single view for the Geo replication overview. And this is one of the bigger changes. There are a few smaller ones that I don't have time to highlight right now. And in terms of deprecations, there are two things that are of note. So the first thing is that hashed storage is the default for GitLab since 12.0. And in 13.0, we will no longer allow systems administrators to revert back to non-hashed storage. So you can obviously still migrate, and you will need to do this for 13.0. But we won't allow essentially going back to the old non-hashed storage. And a tiny note is that we've announced this a while ago, the Geo Settings will now live in the Geo navigation menu, and they're no longer part of the the overall settings for a GitLab instance. At the moment, we maintain both links, so not much to change, but I just wanted to highlight this. And that is mainly it. We are also going to investigate a little bit further how we can simplify the disaster recovery process, work on the geo installation process. And from an internal note, we are thinking about North Star metrics. So the most important things that we can measure for geo. And we will do a little bit of work in that area in 13.0. So thank you very much. That's all of it. And have a great rest of your days.